Alright guys, so we're going to do a nice little cold start on the 1586, because I haven't started this thing in probably 2 months because I don't have a vehicle. Well, I stole the Pontiac. Don't ask. I just stole it. I got spare keys to everything. Not really, but it's been, I don't know, 2 months since it probably started. I'm not even going to plug it in. It'll probably need ether. But I don't know if you guys even got to saw that. The sun was probably ruining it for you guys, but I don't know, it's about 35 degrees outside, but with the wind it feels like 21. So, but surprisingly it started right up, no problems. Oh, we'll let this thing percolate for a while. It's been a while. It's been it's probably been like 2 months, because we were in a deep freeze for a while there, and then now we're starting to get a little bit more warm spells. So. And I didn't have Big Red to haul the batteries, and I didn't feel like hijacking the Pontiac. But I guess my grandma was in a good mood today. Came by her earlier just to check up on some stuff, and I got a catalog from my uncle, so I went and gave it to him. So he asked for a catalog off a certain website, and I ordered him one. So it was free. He didn't have to pay for it. They're free to get, so. But, yeah. I didn't check the oil, but that's okay because I checked it probably about a week ago. It was down a little bit, but it ain't severe. I gotta add more oil to it. I don't know if I'm burning it, or if I know that I'm leaking oil, but out of the oil pan, that is. I'm leaking out of there a little bit. I think the seal or the gasket's starting to go out. So the last time that I ran this thing, we used it to feed hay because the 400 was down. Of course, that's running fine now. But I tried to get the damn blower to work because the windows are fogging up and the blower didn't want to work because it was too cold and the motor don't like to work in the cold. It's still acting up, but this summer me and my uncle are gonna climb up there and gotta go on top of the cab and look in. I gotta see what kind of blower motor that thing is. That one went off. It's still set to wintertime mode. You know, the valves are opened. I believe that's what they're supposed to be, opened. So yeah, I'm going to replace everything up here, I think. As soon as we get Big Red fixed, hopefully that'll be in the next couple of months here. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to pull some strings again to get Big Red fixed. That kind of puts a hurting on us, but I need my four-wheeler back. I can't stand walking. Can't stand hijacking somebody else's vehicle to get shit done. I want my own vehicles. So now here's another thing. I don't know if you guys, what is vibrating? There we go. If you guys watch, I forget his channel name. I think it's Oliver Lover Boy something. Well, he came back to YouTube. He took a 2 or 3 year vacation. He came back and started making videos again, so I'm glad about that. I kind of missed his videos. I liked watching those old tractors work. But he's back, so that makes me happy. And he uploaded a video on one of his Oliver tractors that he had a gauge that I think it was his amp gauge. Well, I have a voltage gauge. I don't think there's much of a difference, but it quit working. And he says that you can't really find the original ones anymore. He says that the companies that try to make them originally, that make them look original, they do kind of a piss poor job. So he went online, he started looking around, and he found a company that rebuilds original gauges, like the ones that were originally in your tractor. They'll take them apart, they'll figure out what's wrong with them, and they'll fix them. Or you can even customize them. So like if I wanted to get rid of this blackness here, and let's say in my gauge, and I wanted to do this, I guess like a red one or something, or anything like that, apparently I can do that. But anyways, if you guys remember, that this voltage gauge went out, or it was out when I bought the tractor, but I bought a brand new one. But I still have the original one, so at some point I'm going to email the guy, or I'm going to give him a call, and I'm going to send in the original gauge. I'll tell him what I have and see if he can fix it. And then I'm also going to talk to him about the digital tack and see if I can get that sent in too and get that fixed. But I got to talk to the guy and see if he does that. He might be able to fix the voltage gauge, but I don't know about the ticker, or the digital tack, but it would be nice to have it fixed. So now you're going to say, why do you want the original one fixed? Well, because it was the original one, as far as I'm aware of, and plus I want a backup. Even though this one should last me the rest of my life. I mean, gauges can kind of quit after a while. But this gauge still, the gauge works. But I put a new sensor in the motor, or in the block. I got my walkie-talkie here because I don't have a radio. Since the Big Red's down, I don't have CBs. I got one here in the tractor, but I don't have one in the car yet. So I've just been using the old Motorola's there. But I think that there was something else that needs to be replaced. I think it was the thermostat. I don't remember what somebody said, but the gauge doesn't go into the green like it should, even when under a load. Because I've had this tractor running on, even when I was cultivating that garden, that should have went in, at least into the green, and it doesn't even get past this white line here. So I know that the gauge works because the gauge kind of bounces, so I know the gauge is good, but I replaced the sensor thinking that was probably the problem, because that's usually the problems. The sensors go out and then you have to replace them. But the original, or the owners before me, they were too cheap to replace anything. The voltage gauge never worked, oil pressure gauge never worked. The only thing that worked was the fuel gauge. To get the oil pressure gauge to work, that just needed a new sensor. And I did that one myself. The volt gauge didn't work at all, so I knew it was the volt gauge. Funny enough, it wasn't the sensor for that. The fuel gauge works, but the back tank sending unit, or whatever you would call that part, that doesn't work, so it only reads the bottom tank. So I got to fix that as well. And then I got to fix the coolant temp. But what the original owners did, or the owners before me, because they were, I think he was getting to be an old man anyway, so he didn't care anymore. So he ended up rigging up another gauge here. That's why he's got these holes here in the dash. And he just ran a wire. Now that would have seemed like more work than just go buying a sensor, but I figured he probably already had the gauge off another tractor or something. But see, the problem is too, that sensor that I've replaced for the oil pressure, that was very expensive. Just for, I mean, that thing's not very big either, so a lot of money went just into that. The gauge was a lot of money, but no big deal there. That's a brand new gauge. That's brand spanking new. But I want to get the original one fixed because I want the original one as backup. For anything else, you know. The other thing I need to do is I need to get the AC to work in this thing again as well. I think I'm just going to end up doing that myself because it ain't that big of a deal. I can just replace the, it's expensive though because you got to replace, I'm just going to replace the compressor with a newer style one. And then I'm going to replace the blower. Probably do the blower first because I kind of need air more than anything else, really. See, it works fine, but then it acts up. So probably just needs to be oiled, but there's no sense because I'm missing half the fan blades anyway, for the blower anyway. So might as well just replace it all. Stupid. So yeah, I don't know. Done a lot of work to this tractor. I think this summer I'll probably do a video. I'll do a video update on this thing whenever the next time I run it. Well, probably in the spring, I suppose. And that will, I'll just tell you, do like an update video to everything that's been fixed on this tractor so far since I've owned it. So yeah, it's been a while since I've ran this old thing. So I don't know if the radio still works. So turn that on. Channel 19. Volume up, squelch down. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I started up just fine though. It's actually getting hot in the cab. I had to ditch the overalls because it's too nice out. It's windy though, but I think the wind's supposed to start calming down around 1. I think it's beyond 1 now, so. Not that much for hydraulics. Pulls the engine down when you do that. But. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a nice little cold start to the 1586. Like I said, I don't know if you guys saw it coming out of the pipe because the sun was probably blurring it out. But I mean, I'm actually getting hot. So sun's very powerful today. But I know who's missing their 1086. I know who's missing their 1086. So I know some people were saying that they like the newer tractors because they have the left-hand power reverser shifter thingy. I have it too. It's just down on the floor. that's even more convenient because my hands are always down here anyway. So I have a power shift reverser right here. You just have to clutch too. It's on my left hand power reverser right there, baby. But yeah, as you can see, the digital tack still don't work. So I'm probably gonna talk to that guy sometime this summer. Probably I'll talk to him about it. Maybe I'll send him some pictures, and then he can determine if he thinks he can fix it, or at least take a look anyway. Maybe he can tell what's wrong with it. But I think he'll definitely be able to fix the bolt gauge, though. I don't see why the hell not. So I don't know how high they're up. Oh, shit. Oops, I forgot about that. Whoopsie daisy. I hope I didn't break my chain. Forgot that I had my chains on there. Son of a bitch. Yeah. Doesn't look like I broke anything, so kind of forgot about the chains being on the back of the 3-point hitch. Yeah, anyways, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to let this thing run for a while, and gonna let it do its percolating and whatnot. So yeah, but yeah, got some real IH power here.